So good morning, Coldwell Banker Vale. My name is Craig Hogan. I'm the Vice President of Luxury for Coldwell Banker Real Estate in New Jersey. And I could not be there with you today, but your leadership has talked me into this voice recording so that I'm sort of with you in spirit. But they've asked me to share with you the changes or the enhancements, the improvements that are going on with the luxury program for Coldwell Banker. So let's just dive right into it. And before I do that, for those that I do not know, I just wanted to share with you that my background has been a real estate agent for the last 21 years. So everything that I do comes from the prism of a real estate agent first, as opposed to something that's corporate driven. So hopefully that will come across as I share with you some of the things that we have developed to improve our Coldwell Banker Luxury program. So last August, I joined the brand. I was based in Chicago, Coldwell Banker NRT here in Chicago, where I oversaw the luxury program for the Chicago-Milwaukee Company, which is the 5th largest luxury market in the United States. And our task was to take the largest, most successful luxury real estate program, being Coldwell Banker Previews, and turn it on its head and shake it out and take a look at each and everything that we were doing and make sure that it was first and foremost a success, that it was necessary, that it was useful, and that it was a complete win. And what we found was we have a lot of incredible things. And we also found some holes that we had in the program, and we decided to take care of those right away. So let's begin with education. Our certification program has been, or was supposed to be, I'll say, the highest bar for our associates to attain their previous property specialist designation. And while this program was sort of going well, in many areas it wasn't. And what we found was the certification was being taught by people who had never sold real estate. It was being taught in half-day courses, and it was also being taught in multiple formats. And we decided that just simply wasn't what the plan was supposed to be. So we brought the course back inside. It is now a nationally sponsored program. It's the same everywhere. It's no longer in the field and local markets, but rather it's taught in a much bigger venue with much more focus on the associate 4 times across the country, 4 times a year across the country, East Coast, Midwest, West Coast, and wherever Gin Blue will be. And yes, we know where Gin Blue will be, and I cannot tell you, because I can hear some of you talking about it, I'm sure. So the first course was just launched at Gin Blue in Miami. Our instructors were Jade Mills from Beverly Hills, Jay Ames from Chicago, and Wendy Walker from Coldwell Banker Phoenix. And it was just a phenomenal experience. It's a multi-day experience where you get to hear from all of those that make the program run one day, and then you get to learn what it's like to be an associate that sells in the top 1 to 5% of their market, and you get to hear it directly from them. And we had a wonderful experience because all the instructors were incredible. And we finished off the certification day with Jade Mills and I in front of 130 people role-playing on her listening presentation, fighting with me for her commission, fighting with me on the price, and pushing me to sign with her that night. It was an unbelievable experience. So we have a lot more to come on this, and the only other thing I'll add to keep us moving is that we are launching in 2017, we are launching a series of online educational components that will be taught directly from vendors, directly from the field, that will relate to stone, tile, wood, electronics, architecture styles, trims, in order to keep you abreast of everything that goes into the luxury home. You have to be able to tell the difference between a $500 Delta faucet and a $5,000 door and faucet, right? You've got to be able to tell the difference between wood that goes into a $300,000 kitchen versus a $100,000 kitchen. Without that knowledge, you're at a disadvantage, and we want to make sure that we see to that right away. Social media. We are just hitting it out of the park on this one. I don't know how else to put it. Social media for luxury is definitely here. It is huge. And not to brag, but in the last year, well, I guess I will brag. In the last year, the social media for luxury for Coldwell Banker Previews has seen an 800% increase year over year, which is just, it's just unbelievable. I can't even wrap my head around those numbers. So we know where the affluent are. We know what they're looking at. For instance, our Pinterest account, we get over 1.6 million views a month. Our blog, our CV blog, the main blog, the Blue Matter blog, 40 million engagements last year. As a matter of fact, year to date for 2016, Coldwell Banker has seen an increase to 60 million engagements just since January. So what we've done is we've turned most of our channels into all luxury all the time. So Pinterest, for example, we have 25 boards, 22 are luxury. Our Facebook, we have our standalone Coldwell Banker Previews Facebook page. Our Twitter is predominantly moving in a luxury format. We just found it's a little bit like catnip. We know what's put out there. We know what they want to see, and our results have just been absolutely stellar. For the Previous Inside Out blog, this was always a successful blog, but we decided to take a look at it and find out how we could make it better. And last year, we were publishing one original piece of content each month, basically one story per month. And now we are producing an unbelievable one per day. So we are pushing out 30 plus individual pieces of content on the Previous Inside Out blog each and every month. So it's all luxury all the time: architecture, lifestyle, design, automotive, anything related to luxury real estate and the luxury consumer, we try to cover in this blog. Our most successful components of the blog are curated and home related, beautiful, sexy real estate, obviously. And this is now the home of the Week program for Coldwell Banker. The Home of the Week program for Coldwell Banker is the most watched real estate video of its kind. On the PIO blog, the Home of the Week, we have seen, and this is unbelievable, but we have seen in a 5-day period that one Home of the Week video can receive between 30,000 and 200,000 views in just a 5-day period. So this tells us that we're doing it right. This tells us that we have engaged the luxury consumer, and we know based on our results that they're watching us, that they're following us, and that we're making an impact. Now, the other part of the PIO blog, which I think is most important for an agent, so that you don't have to continually search for luxury lifestyle content to share on your own newsletters and your own sites, that's really what the PIO blog is all about. So if you like to talk about architecture, if you like to talk about travel, if you like to talk about design, this is content for you to snag and share. In fact, I was just thinking last week, if I got one more email or share from a realtor telling me to turn my clocks back, or that Thanksgiving's coming, I just thought I was going to blow my head off. I mean, it's time for us to stop sharing that stuff and start sharing things that are more relevant, more current, and more interesting to the consumer. So let's talk about our global marketing program. This is standalone, second to none. This is nearly 50 pages of where we are in the world from a marketing opportunity perspective. So anywhere you want to place your most beautiful properties, this gives you the opportunity to plan it out, know in advance when the deadline is, what the rates are, what the coverage is, what the demographics are. So instead of just being that agent that just randomly buys ads for properties when they get them, which is what most do, this gives you an opportunity to actually have a written marketing plan for an individual property and to present it to the seller with some forethought. It gives you the opportunity to say, I've looked over our opportunities. This is where I believe the property is best, should be featured. These are the deadlines. This is the demographic. This is who will be reading it. These kind of things matter when you're selling in the top 1% to 5% for sure. In the mass market, probably doesn't matter so much. But when you do get the most expensive listing in the neighborhood, let's say, this gives you the opportunity to go in and press. So for some, the Wall Street Journal is a great avenue. For others, the New York Times, International New York Times, Elite Traveler, Home and Style, Architectural Digest. I mean, it's all in here. This is print and digital combined. So it's local, global, hyperlocal, and digital. The digital package I won't go into today. I can just tell you it's incredibly robust. It is successful. I do believe that is where possibly one would want to consider putting more money is into their digital presence for the coming year, because we do know that print for luxury is on the rise again. It's going back up, but digital is definitely one of the places where it's at. This one's exciting. This is Homes and Estates magazine. We've always had a beautiful magazine, but we had a few gaps, and we identified those right up front. So we've gone back to our original relationship with Unique Homes. They're our publishing partner. They're celebrating their 45th year in marketing luxury real estate. They're one of the most successful luxury real estate books out there. They're our publishing partner. After 20 years, we've come back to them. And what we decided to do was truly make this a real global magazine, which we called it a global magazine, and it was, but that was primarily us making sure we shipped cases of our magazines to our foreign offices. So that was somewhat effective, but that's really not what we wanted it to be. So the magazine came out October 18th, so just a few weeks ago, and I'm happy to say that we are on Barnes & Noble newsstands all across the country, all 685 locations. In Canada, we are in Indigo, which is the largest bookstore in Indigo. We are also in Hong Kong, newsstands in Dubai, newsstands in South America, Mexico, France, and our global distribution is growing as we speak. So we're signing more contracts for our next issue. And those aren't all the countries that we're in right now. We're in far more. I can't remember all those in my head. But now you can honestly tell a seller that this is a global magazine. It is on newsstands across the globe. And it was so exciting last week to have agents snapping shots of Homes and Estates at different bookstores and sending them to me. So it was a little bit like having a baby born. Our team runs this magazine with the utmost respect for making sure we look absolutely stellar, and I hope some of you have had a chance to see the new Homes and Estates magazine. It's absolutely stunning. It's beautiful. It's one of the biggest books we've ever got, or that we've ever published. And one exciting component about this is that our ad cost has not gone up. It has stayed the same. We've done all of these enhancements with the program, but not raised the ad cost one bit. As a matter of fact, because we're back with Unique Homes, once we print our big book, the next issue of Unique Homes, which is their global issue, which will come out in January, has our magazine in its entirety inserted into their book. So their big annual global publication has Homes and Estates in it. The investment of one ad gets you both magazines, both print, and both digital. It's really, really special. So Proxio, if you haven't heard about Proxio, it's coming your way. Proxio is the platform that powers the new ColdwellBankerPreviews.com. ColdwellBankerPreviews.com is our standalone luxury website. Our new site will launch at the end of the year. It is in beta format right now. We showed a little bit of it at Gin Blue. It's a complete departure from the current luxury site that we have. It's absolutely stunning. And it is, when you see it, I think you'd be very, very pleased. We researched every site out there that was beating us, and we did everything we could to take the best of what we saw and bring it into our new site. But the back end of the program is powered by Proxio, and Proxio is a platform that is basically a global MLS. It has two components to it, Proxio Pro and Proxio Showcase. Proxio Showcase is all about the listing. Proxio Pro is basically LinkedIn for real estate agents. So for the first time ever, all luxury agents with Coldwell Banker Previews will be on one site. You'll be able to communicate with each other across the globe. You will be able to see each other's listings. You will be able to look at each other's current inventory. And when you're doing referrals across the country and sometimes across the globe, you'll actually be able to communicate directly with the agent of your choice. And you'll be able to follow agents that have certain types of inventory that may be suited for your feeder markets as well. So it's an absolutely wonderful program. Training will start in December, and this will be done by the Coldwell Banker team, and it will be done on webinar. So look for this to come. It's really spectacular because we've never been able to have everything on one site. This will have our listings, our agents, and our development projects all across the globe, all on one site with a back end that gives you the ability to communicate directly with each other and push out some of the most stellar reports for sellers that we have ever seen. Wealth Engine. I assume you guys have been contacted by Wealth Engine at this point for the leadership. If not, let me know. But what we've done with Wealth Engine is that in the past, we relied on lists of the affluent for our target market, for our top tier listings. And while that was somewhat effective, we knew that it really wasn't where we wanted to be. So what we've done is we've entered into an agreement with Wealth Engine. We did so a few months ago. Wealth Engine is the largest database of the affluent in the United States. And if you've ever had that spectacular listing and you struggled with, how am I going to market this to the right crowd? Well, we've got you covered. So with your expertise as an agent, your research, possibly using CDX, to find out where the ideal buyer pool is, we've got the list, or we've got the access to the wealthiest people in America. So when we want to connect with them and send them something meaningful, and I'm not saying you don't do 1,000 just listed postcards, but maybe it's time to stop that. Maybe it's time to focus on the buyer pool that's just right for that special property, and let's use the Wealth Engine program to contact them. We know where they live, how many homes they have, how many kids they have, what their charities are, what their age is, what their financial leanings are. We have everything in one database now. So it's an exciting time, and this program launches at the end of November. Let's talk global. We've always been at the top of the heat when it comes to listing syndication, but we weren't number one, and that really got us, and we decided to jump on that right away. So effective December, which is just a month away, our List Hub Global will begin to syndicate all Coldwell Banker luxury listings to the most broad listing syndication platform we've ever seen before. So this carries our listings across the globe to 80 million plus buyers and investors, 60 different publishers, 50 additional countries, and this will include, and this is really super, this will include Fang.com, which is the largest, most visited real estate website in China. It will also include Juwai, which is the #1 site for those who choose to search and see in Chinese, and it will also include Rightmove, which is the largest, most accessed website in the United Kingdom for luxury real estate. And it includes all the other main sites that are really, really important, such as 99 Acres and Magic Bricks that take us into India and into Africa. So this will really be able to, when you tell the seller that you've launched their listing to the world, this time we mean it, and it's in a meaningful way. And a list of every site we're on will be put on Coldwell Banker, our CB exchange, for you to be able to share with your clients. And that's really the biggest changes going on in luxury today. And I'm just glad I had the time to share with you. And I hope this all sounds really positive to you. And get with your leadership for questions if you have any. Thank you.